Hi everybody, we have a video today that is a litter update for these Labradoodle puppies. And today we have a little bit of a different video. We have two litters combined, which we're going to explain to you in a little bit here. So we're going to go through each of the puppies in this video, give you a little bit of update on each of the puppies, tell you about their colors, their patterns, let you know how the litter is doing overall, and give you a little bit of an update on Mama Labradoodle Ripple. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and today's video is a little bit different in that we have two litters of Labradoodle puppies combined. Now, why is that? Well, we had two litters born 24 hours apart. Ripple had her litter of Labradoodle puppies on December 23rd, and she had 4 lovely puppies. Then the next day, on Christmas Eve, Holly had her litter of Labradoodle puppies, and Holly had 9 puppies in that litter. Now, from that litter, Holly herself was suffering from a fairly mild case of mastitis, but she had mastitis enough so that her milk production was quite low. So as a result, her little Labradoodle puppies were not able to get the full amount of nutrition from Holly's milk bar. So we started off taking just one puppy and giving it to Ripple, but then we decided we would take 2 more and give them to Ripple as well. So Ripple now has 7 Labradoodle puppies to raise, and Holly has her remaining 6 puppies to raise. Now, the reason why we're doing the video with the 2 litters together and not taking Holly's 3 Labradoodle puppies out to do with her video is because the mamas have made that transition. Ripple has fully accepted her 3 puppies from Holly as her own. These are now her puppies. So she's very protective of them. She feels that those are her puppies and Holly is not entitled to have any access to them. For her part, Holly has completely forgotten about the 3 puppies, but were she to have them back near her, she would recognize them again, and it would be very confusing and cause her a great deal of agitation. So of course, at all times, we want our mama dogs to be calm. Now, this is something that as a breeder, you become more and more familiar with. The more litters you have as a breeder, the more you realize that the calmer your mama dog is, the happier the puppies are as well. Now, you'll see with these Labradoodle puppies here with Ripple, they're getting to be quite a big bunch for her. We have quite a few large puppies in here. These are definitely going to be large minis, and some of them may even mature to be just on the cusp and moving into the medium size. Ripple has lots of terrific milk on her milk bar. She has no problem with that, and she also is an exceptionally devoted mama dog. Now, this is Ripple's retirement litter. This is her 4th litter. So she knows what she's doing. The whole process is very familiar to her. She's not in any distress at all. She actually loves being a mom, and she's quite content to come and go. She knows when the puppies need her, and she knows when these little Labradoodles are perfectly fine on their own. So normally we go through each of these little puppies in their birth order to give you their updates. But because we have these 2 litters of Labradoodles combined, we're just going to do Holly's puppies first, and then we're going to move on to Ripple's, which we will do in our normal birth order fashion. So we're going to start with this little one right here, who's closest to me. And this is the biggest puppy in Holly's litter. This puppy is a really lovely and quite unique tri-phantom girl. And you will see that this puppy, even though she's not quite 2 weeks old, because today is Tuesday, so these puppies will be turning 2 weeks old on Thursday, but she has her eyes open already. All the ways you can see all those beautiful blue eyes, or not all of them, those 2 blue eyes she has. Now, puppies are all born with blue eyes, but they will not stay blue. This little girl's eyes will turn to a brown color once she's mature. Oh, hi, Ripple. Ripple's just checking to see what I'm doing here with her baby. She's quite concerned about this. Or maybe she's just using that as an excuse to leave them all. So this little girl, as I said, is a tri-phantom, which is exactly what Ripple is. However, you cannot see the phantom markings on Ripple. She's an invisible phantom. But this little girl, despite being party, she has a mostly solid head, so it's almost all black. So that way the phantom markings really show up nicely on her face. You can see those tan points on the side and the little eyebrow chits here. Really, really cute. This is going to be an absolutely adorable puppy when she's mature. And then she has very nicely marked party coloring. She has almost a tuxedo body, but she has enough white that she is considered to be a party. And as I said, this is the biggest puppy that Holly has. And if you watch Holly's litter update video, which will be coming out shortly, you'll be able to see the difference in size. This is one chunky monkey. This is a big, hefty Labradoodle puppy. Hi, BB. She is fat and sassy and a happy little girl. So that's puppy number 1 from Holly's litter. And Holly's litter is the Toast of the Town litter. Now you can see with brown collar girl here, who's also from Holly's litter, there's a considerable difference in size. This is much closer to the size of Holly's Labradoodle puppies, mini size puppies and just the appropriate size. And you can see that little brown collar girl does not have her eyes open yet. She's decided that she does not want to see the whole world yet. I don't blame you, no. And this little girl is a chocolate phantom. And you can see that her markings are not as pronounced as they are on the black tri-phantom girl. You can see them there on the side of her head. They do show up. But when this little girl matures, probably because chocolates always tend to fade, she will end up having these colors meld together quite nicely so that she looks like a beautiful chocolate color with gorgeous caramel highlights, sort of like a Cadbury caramel chocolate bar. One of my favorites. So she's going to be a really pretty little girl. And this little girl is a little bit quieter, but ever since coming over to be with Ripple's Labradoodle puppies, she's settled in beautifully. She has no problem finding her way to the milk bar. She's doing a very nice job of gaining weight, and she's just in perfect weight, perfect size, just exactly where we would expect her to be developmentally. So that's little brown collar girl from the Toast of the Town litter. And put you over there, sweetheart. And the last puppy from Holly's litter is Pink Collar Girl. Pink Collar Girl is also a chocolate phantom, but she's a little bit different from Brown Collar Girl. First of all, her eyes are open. She's decided that she wants to see what's going on in the world. Now, she really can't see too much, of course. She just sees shapes right now. Nothing is particularly clear when they first open their eyes. So this little girl is very similar in that her phantom markings are not hugely predominant. They're there, you'll see them, they're very pretty, but as time goes on, they're going to be a little bit more of a blend of the caramel and the brown together to make just a beautiful combination. And this little girl has a white dipped toe in the front. She has a lovely white chest, if she'll let you see it there. And then on the back, she has 2 white dipped toes as well. And no tip on the tail. So this little girl is also doing very nicely at the milk bar. No problem finding her way around. She too is a quiet girl, and her favorite thing is to snuggle in between 2 of Ripple's little Labradoodle puppies, and that way she gets all cozied up between 2 of the larger puppies. There's quite a difference in size between Ripple's puppies and Holly's puppies. Now, they're both mini Labradoodle puppy litters, so why is there such a difference? Well, generally that comes from the grandparents. So it's not just the dogs themselves, the parents themselves, that determine the size of the puppies, but it's also the grandparents in a dog's pedigree. So as a breeder, when you're making decisions about who to breed with who, and you're giving people an idea of the size their puppy will be at maturity, you have to take into consideration what's in the pedigree. Now, Ripple has consistently produced dogs who tend to be a little bit larger than true minis. Now, when we say what size a dog is, people always ask us about the weight. But a dog size is not based on their weight because, of course, weight is something that is governed by many, many factors. It's the height of the dog that determines whether they're a mini, medium, or standard. So there's a range of sizes in each of the sizes. And then it's where that dog falls within the breed standard when you measure them from the floor up to the top of their shoulder. So now we have from our First Noel litter, the first Labradoodle puppy that belongs to Ripple. And this is our firstborn, and this is Brown Collar Boy. Brown Collar Boy is this really pretty caramel color. Now we have some barking going on in the background because I think there might be a delivery here. So Randall may have to step out and just get that delivery, but we'll just keep on going. The dogs are all very aware that there are puppies in the house. So even the dogs that don't have puppies, they will be a little bit more protective than normal of anything that comes to the door. And of course the mama dogs are very protective. Now back to our brown collar Labradoodle puppy. Hello, sweetheart. He has his eyes open and he has decided that meeting the world is a great thing to do. He's got his eyes fully open. And Reynold, would you mind just getting me a paper towel, because Mr. Brown Collar has decided to take a little bit of a poop on my hand here. So one of the things about being a dog breeder is that poop is part of your life. And these puppies right now, thank you, are just starting to poop on their own. And so sometimes when you pick them up, if you squish them just the right way, then you end up getting a little bit of poop on yourself. So you have to have lots of poop-proof clothing and be prepared to wash your hands 100 times a day. So here we are with this little caramel fellow again, and you can see he has some pretty white markings down his chest, really quite a good amount of white there. And now you'll see with Ripple's puppies, these are beautiful, juicy, fat puppies. Ripple has tons of milk at her milk bar. She's very, very good at producing lots of milk. And you can see the tummy on this puppy. And this puppy has a gorgeous Labradoodle head. You'll often hear me talking about the heads of these dogs. And you can see that it's nice and blocky and square with a very short snout and a strong stop. The stop is where the nose meets the face, the forehead here, and you want this to be a nice steep angle. You don't want to look for a dog that has a nose that's like this, according to the Labradoodle breed standard. Now, does that change the dog's personality? No, not at all. Is it important? To breeders it is. We want to be sure that we only move forward and use for breeding purposes dogs who meet the breed standard. So that's something as a breeder we look for. Next we have Black Collar Boy. Now this is another little caramel Labradoodle puppy that Ripple has, and they're almost twins. It's hard to tell them apart. And you can see that there's one difference in, oh my goodness, it's just an exhausting day. Hi baby, hi. You can see that this little monkey is just starting to open his eyes. They are not all the ways open yet. They've just started to slit open, but he isn't quite ready to see the entire world yet. And you can see he's a bit fussy about sitting with me right now. I must have woken him up when he was having a good sleep. Again, this little puppy is a beautiful caramel with a lot of the white on the chest there, white dipped toes as well. And we have a little white tip on the tail, which is such a pretty little feature. And again, a beautiful head on this puppy. Nice and blocky head with a good strong stop and a short snout here. Hello, beautiful. Hi. Now, of course, the puppies can't hear yet. I am still talking to them, as I do all the time, right from the time they're born. Well, I talk to them even before they're born. But they can't hear anything yet. They can just feel the vibration of my voice while I talk. Next in this litter of mini Labradoodle puppies who may end up being, oh my goodness, is that right? That was quite a large complaint there, Brown Collar Boy. Oh, I think he's probably trying to get Ripple's attention. Next is our one and only girl from this litter, and this is Pink Collar Girl. This is Pink Collar Girl from First Noel, not Pink Collar Girl from Toast the Town. This is the puppy who opened her eyes first in the litter. She has had her eyes open since Saturday. They opened very early in the process. And this very pretty little girl is a gorgeous chocolate phantom as well. Now you can see she has masses and masses of those tan points throughout her coat. She really is heavily marked on her face. And if you look at the top of her head, and if you look through her body here, it really ripples through her whole body and makes her brown quite a different color from a chocolate. She really is more of an auburn shade. So it's going to be really interesting interesting to watch as this coat develops. I anticipate that, like I was saying with Holly's Labradoodle puppies that are phantom, that probably this little girl's brown is going to fade out quite a bit, and so it will end up being a beautiful sort of milky chocolate color with lots of caramel highlights. But right now, while she still has a lot of that deep rich coloring, those copper tones really are set off nicely. This little girl is a real sweetheart. She is a type of puppy who already is craving people. She loves to be picked up and held much more so than her brothers. She'll let me hold on to her for ages and ages and snuggle right up, whereas her brothers are always like, okay, I'm done now. Okay, that's enough. Stop, quit fussing over me. But this little one likes the hugs and kisses much more. And you'll see that she too has that nice big head. She has a good strong stop here and the short little button nose that's going on. And as for white markings on this little girl, you can see those two white dipped toes back there. And you can see the white on her chest. And you can really see her phantom markings across her chest there. Now, when they're puppies, you don't see those so much, but as they get older, you see them more. And she has the little tiny, tiny white tip on the end of her tail. So this is a sweet little girl. Little pink? Yes, you're a pretty girl. And this is the only girl in Ripple's litter. And last but not least by any means is our hefty boy. We have nicknamed him the hefty garbage bag because he's enormous. He is hardly able to be picked up by one hand anymore. This is our giant eating machine, yellow color boy, who is a beautiful chocolate party boy. Now this is an invisible phantom. Because the sire, Bentley, is a phantom, and because Ripple is a phantom, necessarily the puppies all carry the necessary genes to be a phantom, whether they express or not. And when we say whether they express or not, you can tell this one has the hefty personality too. This guy is a talker. He is hilarious. He makes us giggle so much. He's always upside down or showing us his girth. For a while he was so fat he could hardly even move himself around. Now there, he's showing you his phantom markings on the side of his face, which you can see in the solid part of his head there. He also does have the markings up above his eyebrows. They're just not as strong as they are on Holly's Tri-Phantom girl. So this is a Tri-Phantom puppy dog. Very, very special boy. And you can see his eyes are sort of dozy, half open, half closed. And I think his dozy personality is why he is such just an enormous size. Look at that stomach on him. Oh, that's a big tummy. Now you can see a little staining on his coat there, and that's because when he pees, he is not standing up on his four legs yet all the time. So oftentimes when he pees, before Ripple comes to clean him, it's there, and so it tends to stain his coat a bit. That will all disappear very quickly once he gets to be a little bit older and he's up all the time. But right now he's so heavy his little legs have a problem holding him up, right? Hey, little hefty? He is a character, as I said. He's talkative. He's been talkative since day one. The white markings on his face are beautiful. They're symmetrical, and the white up his head is really nice. So that is all the puppies in our combined litter of Labradoodles. And you will see how our two caramels there are good buddies. Their paws around each other. They're all really good friends in this litter. Hefty tends to be off by himself quite a bit, but the other puppies are always all cuddled up all the time. And as I said, Ripple is really familiar with being a mama Labradoodle. As a breeder, she's probably a dream Labradoodle mama to have. She just cares for her puppies perfectly. She doesn't spoil them. She just looks after them just exactly how they need. And she knows when they need her. She never fusses about being with them. She eats really nicely. She doesn't eat too much. She doesn't eat too little. And just everything is done just perfectly. I wish I could clone Ripple a million times and have puppies with her all the time. She's really a dream come true as a Labradoodle breeder. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about Labradoodles or breeding Labradoodles or Labradoodle nutrition, anything at all about Labradoodles, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. I'm always happy to talk about Labradoodles and get back to you with specific responses to specific questions if you have them. Many people ask us about the beds in our videos. The beds are available through curatedcanines.com. They are only available in Canada. And we do not have any puppies available at this time. We will not have availability again until 2022. And we do not sell our puppies outside of Canada either. So if you're Canadian, please feel free to visit curatedcanines.com for beds and other pet supplies that you may be interested in. And if you're interested in a puppy, we invite you to follow us on Facebook. And around the middle of the year, we will let everybody know when we'll be accepting applications for our wait list for